Okay, so we're going to look at wind instruments now. Now, in the previous section, we looked at waves on a string, like for a guitar, a cello, a violin. We're going to do something a bit different now, look at wind instruments. So what are wind instruments? Well, they could be things like the flute, clarinet, etc. These are ones where we use columns of air, usually inside a tube of some sort of shape, like a pipe organ or a flute, and we get those air molecules to vibrate back and forth. Now, if we can set up a standing wave in a column of air, the frequencies those happen at, where you get those standing waves in a column of air, those frequencies are the notes you play. And usually instruments are designed to play notes at certain frequencies. We'll talk a bit about that. But since this involves sound moving through air, there's a couple things we should look at. The first is we're going to need to know the speed of sound. That will be our wave speed. So the general formula is this, which I'll put up on the screen. The speed of sound waves in air is given by the formula right there, but you'll notice it depends on temperature. And if you put the air temperature in degrees in Celsius, you basically are converting it into Kelvin. For those of you who've done that in chemistry classes, changing the temperature scale to Kelvin by adding 273.15. And then square rooting, multiplying the whole thing by 331 meters per second. So you can see the speed of sound actually changes depending on air temperature. That's why you may have noticed that outdoor sounds can carry a little farther or sound a little bit clearer depending on whether it's summer or winter. It also depends on other things as well, but for the most part, temperature is the big thing. We're not going to worry too much about this. For all the questions we're going to do in this course, we are going to take that temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. That gives us a nice speed of sound in air of 340 meters per second. We will take this for our calculations. So we are going to use V, the wave speed, as the speed of sound in air to be 340 meters per second. That in mind, we're going to deal with two types of wind instruments, and we will look at both. So we are going to be like a tube or pipe with both ends open to the air. The second one we're going to look at is a tube or a pipe with one end closed and one end open. For a tube pipe with both ends open to the air, an example would be a flute or a recorder or anything with those types of instruments. A tube or pipe with one end closed and one end open, this would be such things like a clarinet or most reed instruments, where you have a reed at the mouthpiece, or an organ pipe. Now, you are not going to have to know which instrument belongs to which category. In this chapter, we'll always tell you if it's a closed tube or an open tube, or give you a way to figure that out. You're not going to have to memorize musical instruments, that type of thing. So I'm going to do a video on both these situations, so feel free to look those up. And yeah, thank you for watching, and have a great day.